Hey everyone, Tammy here from Lemma's Creations DIY. Welcome back. I'm so happy that you have joined me for this video. Today I am participating in the Quick Change Challenge. Quick Change Challenge. Meaning you take a sign and you make two different signs out of one sign, or you make a decoration that can go for two different seasons, that sort of thing. I will explain more and tell you who the host is later on in the video. But for now, let's start crafting. So for this first craft, I'm going to have two pieces that are 3.5 by 4.25, two that are 2.5 by 3.25, two that are 2.5 and 2.25, and one that is 1.5 by 5. And first what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain it with this Danish oil in black walnut on all sides and all of these pieces. Now that they're all stained, I have various different ribbon and burlap ribbon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it out, cut it, fray it, and then I'm going to glue it down. And I do the same thing for all the other pieces with different types of the ribbon that I have. Just mixing and matching them, fray the edges, hot glue it down, trim them down if I need to, if it seems too big. Hot glue it down with my glue gun. Excuse me. Now that that's all done, I found this paper. It's like crepe paper or something. I don't know. It could be like homemade paper. And what I do is I measure out the block and I cut little pieces down. And I do that for all the blocks. Now, taking that same paper, I'm going to take a wet paintbrush and I'm going to rub the water from the paintbrush along the edge of the paper. And then using my fingers, I'm just going to tear off that edge where I put the water, giving it a cool little frayed edge there. And I do the same all the way around. And then I also do the same to all the other pieces of paper. Now, taking my Mod Podge, I'm going to put Mod Podge on the back of that little piece of paper and stick it on top of the burlap ribbon. And then I do Mod Podge on top. I wasn't going to at first, and then I realized it wasn't going to stick all that well if I didn't, so I had to Mod Podge on top, which is fine. Now I have these various letter stickers. First, what I'm going to do is I'll take the first letter, and I was thinking on just Mod Podging the back of each sticker and not having a Mod Podge on top, but in the end I do Mod Podge on top because some of them were super tiny, and so I had to Mod Podge on top. And then taking my paint marker, I write in the word give. Now it's time to embellish them. Taking these little berries, I think they're supposed to represent cranberries maybe, or even crab apples. And I embellish the sign. Now for the other side, I have this scrap paper. Scrap paper. What I'm going to do, scrapbooking paper, is trace out the blocks, and then I lay out all my colors and I do the same thing. Then putting a huge heavy layer of Mod Podge on top, I lay my piece of paper down, smooth it out the best I can, and then Mod Podge on top of that. And I do the same thing for all the other blocks. Then, in a downward motion, I take my sand block, and I sand all the edges down, trying to get all the extra little pieces that are hanging over, and it gives it a nice kind of neat edge. I wish I could sand that fast. That'd be cool. And I do it to all of them. Now, taking my thinner black marker, I'm going to write into my words, or my letters. And then taking my black paint marker, I'm going to color them in. Now it's time to embellish this one. I made these cute little tiny bows. I'm going to glue one right by the J, and then I glue the second one down by the bells. Here's the first part of that project, and quick change, here's the second part. Give thanks, jingle bells. Like I said before, this collab is called the Quick Change Collab. It is hosted by Teresa B. DIY, and co-hosts are Dave's Recent Things and What's Jamie Making. Their Links will be in the description box along with the playlist. So what did you think of that first two crafts? I thought they were pretty neat. It made me think outside of the box trying to make it. That, say you forget to take something down for the one season like fall, then you can just turn around and change it and it's Christmas. Jingle bells! That kind of thing. I thought it was fun. If you are liking me, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell and give this video a big old thumbs up. On to the next craft. So I have this nice long piece of board. I'm going to paint part of it with that paint mixture, and I painted the other half with this trim-clad wild raspberry. And I also painted a little 1x2 stick, like there. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this raffia and I'm going to glue it along in between the wild raspberry color and the mushroomy creamy color all the way across. This stuff gets messy all over the place. Then taking my wood glue and hot glue, I'm going to glue this piece right on top of that raffia and in place. Taking my sander, we're going to distress the board a bit, the body and the top, because he needed a little bit of distressing. Now I have this old shirt, and what I'm going to do is lay it out the best I can. And then I'm going to cut just the top part of that shirt with the buttons and along the shoulder seam and right off into the collar. Do it up, and then we're going to straighten it out the best we can. And then I'm going to use the wood glue and hot glue to glue it down. And the reason for this is because it's going to be a sign that's outdoors. So I wanted to make sure that it would hold and stick. And just laying that piece down, I glue everything all into place. Making a little hem up by the shoulder, glue that down, and then I glue the collar down. I do the same thing for the other side. Now to draw on his face. Just sketching out his eyes and his eyebrows and his big old nose and a wibbly wobbly smile. And then we paint in with the paint marker all the black parts. And then with the different colored different colored paint, I paint in the parts that need to be painted, starting with the white, and then the black, so on and so forth. If you're a returning subscriber, I'd like to say welcome back. So happy you are here. If you're new and you're coming over from another channel, I'd like to say welcome. So happy to have you. Please, if you could, hit that subscribe button and like this video. We would sure love to have you. Now taking some orange sunflowers and some fall leaves, I'm going to gather them together with some floor wire. And then taking this burlap ribbon, I'm going to fold a piece together, scrunch it in the middle, tie it up with some jute twine, and then using that same jute twine, I'm going to tie it into the middle of the flowers and the leaves, and we're going to glue it right there on top of his hat, on top of the brim of his hat, using some wood glue and some hot glue, nice big dollop of wood glue. We're going to glue that right into place. And then I cut some little square pieces from that same fabric from his shirt. And we're just going to glue those all around his hat as well. Now for the other side. I painted part of it white and the other part black, as you can see. Now, like the other guy, we're going to add on his part of his hat with some wood glue and some hot glue. Draw on his face, his eyes, his carrot nose, and his wibbly mouth. And then we also paint it in with some paint. And again, using a paint marker. I have a favor to ask all my subscribers. I've noticed that I have less view hours than I do subscribers. So what I need everyone to do is to play my videos. You don't really need to watch them. Just play them in the background while you're doing something else. You can do it while you're sleeping. You can just hit one of those playlists with all the videos on it and just let them play and get my hours up. Please, I would really appreciate it. Now, taking the same shirt that I used for the other guy, I'm going to just put a slit into the shirt and then rip all the way up and cut off a piece. And then we're going to lay it out to make this fella a scarf. My bonum. My bonum de neige. My little snowman. And then instead of rocks for his buttons, I decided I was going to use pine cones. Just again, taking some wood glue and hot glue, sticking them into place. And I just kind of let them fall to the way they wanted to naturally sit. So I figured it'd be easier to glue that way. Then I found this glitter snow. I've had it, I don't know for how long. I cannot remember where I got it. I'm so happy that it still works. So I put a little of that on the pine cones to make it look like snow. Now taking some ribbon, we're going to make a little ribbon with 3-inch bows, taking a pipe cleaner, tying it off in the center, fixing those bows, dovetailing the ends, and we're going to glue that guy right there. Again, with some wood glue and some hot glue. And then taking, I think it's a white poinsettia flower, we're going to glue that right into the middle. Then I'm going to freehand with some white paint and a small brush and let it snow. And then we'll just freehand on some snowflakes all over his hat and on the brim of his hat. And here's this guy. I need a name for him. Any ideas? And here's the snowman, Mr. Bonum. He's cute. I would like to thank everybody for joining me today and watching this video until the end. I hope everybody enjoyed everything I made. I surely had fun making it and love every single one of it. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thursday, and we will see you again next time. Bye!